Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Matt here. This is going to be episode 8 on field contact. Those of you that have subscribed, liked, and all that good stuff and following along, you probably saw about a week or two ago, I put together that short video with the mountain, right, and then the FC, and then actually saying field contact. It's nothing more than just kind of branding and a logo as we continue to move forward with some episodes. The reason I picked field contact is most of you are aware that I am a police officer and I work primarily nights, and so when I'm not on a call for service or when I'm not, answering emergency traffic or things like that, we do what are called field contacts, right? That could be anything from going out with somebody being suspicious, lurking around by buildings that are closed, maybe somebody lurking around an apartment complex, possibly trying door handles, things like that, right? So a field contact can be anything to everything. And because of what this channel is, it covers a little bit of anything and everything. So I thought field contact was a cool name, and I figured it would be good as it kind of correlates with some of the things that we're doing, covering a wide spectrum of things. So in the other videos, we've talked about gear, we've talked about weapon systems, we've talked about vehicles. Some of you probably noticed behind me that I don't have the Jeep. For those of you that aren't aware, I actually sold the Jeep. So if you watch the long video of the walk around telling you all about all the good stuff about it, thanks for watching, but I no longer have it, right? The rock crawling aspect isn't something that my family and I are doing very much, so it wasn't so much as being super practical anymore. Plus with my commute and gas going up, it wasn't necessarily the funnest to drive. So an opportunity came along where I was able to sell it back to the company who helped build it over the years, Let's Roll Off-Road, and he was able to turn around and help one of his co-workers out for him and his fiance to get it, and they absolutely love it. I enjoy seeing the pictures of them using it and just having a blast. So it's still out and about, still getting used, still out in the dirt. So if you see it, you can still wave at them. It just won't be me waving back. So then you're probably going, Matt, well, what'd you get? So I'm going to do another video that's going to be more in-depth, but we opted for a mid-sized pickup. So this is the Ford Ranger 2021, and it's the Tremor package. So for those of you that are familiar with the Raptor, it's kind of like a baby version of that, right? Has rear locker, has some upgraded suspension, has some different tires. So we're going to do some things to it. We are not going to do a lot of things to it, which was the whole point of getting this specific package. But again, we'll cover that more in another video, and we'll talk kind of about the plans, what we intend on doing as far as upgrades, and kind of future trips and things like that. Okay, so most of you probably notice I have my range training belt. In that previous video, this is the Ronin Tactics True North Concepts modular holster adapter, right? We've already talked about all that stuff. I did upgrade to the S-Tech magazine rifle pouches. They're just a little bit cleaner, and they're just nicer. So that's about the only differences, okay? But some of you are probably noticing oh, there's a red slide right here. So this video, we're going to talk about some training things that you can do, right, in the comforts of your own home without going out in the desert, spending a bunch of money on either gas or material for targets or ammo, right? Even though prices are starting to come back down, they're still kind of high. So how can we do that, right? We can do that by dry firing. So this is the Next Level Training Red Gun, okay? It has a weighted magazine to mimic a loaded magazine. seats, magazine release, all that good stuff. The nice part about it is the slide doesn't cycle, but you get the trigger reset. So I can do unlimited trigger pulls, working on that fine reset, as you can probably hear it reset. So that subtle click, right? I have a spare next level training mag so that I can either A, do tack reloads, or just do straight empty gun reloads. Big thing when you're doing dry firing, if you don't want to go out and get one of these, not sponsored, didn't get it for free. Well, I got this for free, but I got it from a friend, wasn't from the company. I helped him move, and I saw that he had it, and I was playing with it, and he told me to take it. So I did, and I've actually been using a lot. I use this a lot. So if you don't want to go out and buy like a red gun or a training gun, right, you can still use your pistol that you typically carry, but obviously make sure there's no ammunition, right? Make sure if you're going to use mags, make sure the mags are downloaded, and be somewhere where you're not going to be distracted, right? The nice part is with the training gun, even if I tried to seat a real magazine that was loaded, it wouldn't go, right? Like, it's not gonna go all the way in, nor is it gonna do anything. So that's the other nice feature about this. I still throw them out of the way though, okay? Yes, I still have, sorry, kind of loud on my street. Yes, I still have the rifle mags, but obviously the rifle mag ain't gonna go in there, okay? So you can do this in your garage, in your bedroom, wherever, right? And it could be as super as you want or as minimal as you want, right? But if you do a few minutes just getting some reps in, that's gonna be better than not doing anything, right? So you can't see it on my end, but I have a small target. That was actually a box from Neomag when I purchased some stuff from them. It actually has like a silhouette, for lack of better words, and it's stapled to my wall, and I use it to dry fire. So we're just gonna do some, nothing crazy. And again, it's whatever you want to do, right? So I'm just gonna work on trigger presses and simulate like empty gun reloads. So it feels kind of weird. It's like a laser gun. You'll see it when I move the camera, but same things that I've practiced out in the desert, right? Moving lateral, working that gun, that good magazine seat. Only thing is, like, I'm not having to rack the slide back, right? So that's kind of the only shortfall of a training gun, but it is pretty nice. Just the red dot's fake. Like, if you were to look through it, there's nothing. It's just to train you getting up and looking through it for those of us that shoot optics. I do this in the garage. One, my neighbors typically don't care. Two, I don't get distracted by my boys that are inside. And I have this rug here, so like when this stuff falls on it, it's not just beating the crap out of it. And I don't have to worry about my dog barking at me. So find a place that you like, get those reps in. Remember, when you draw the gun, draw it with a purpose, right? Whether it's a training gun, whether it's your real gun, just make sure you're doing it safe. Again, your dry fires don't have to be super long. This video is not going to be very long, just for that sole purpose. But I just wanted to show you, A, I wanted to make a video for y'all, and B, kind of wanted to show you a cool training option should you have the desire to go out and get it. I love it because then I don't have to mess with my real gun. I don't have to download mags. It's just for what it is and doing what you're doing, it's great. Seats inside the holster well, so it's all around. There's a lot of pros. Only con I would say is you can't rack the slide to like work a malfunction, but that's small in the grand scheme. You're on the hood of the Ranger. This is what I'm aiming at. It is not super big. It's not what I would be shooting at the range, but for like just training purposes and getting something to get your weapon up onto, it's just nice to have, right? And then just so like I was saying, this goes off of laser, so I can set this up to my smartphone or I could set it up to a laptop. Granted, there's a subscription to it, which I'm cheap, so I use this more, but it'll like record like your times and your splits. Granted, I could do that with my shot spotter or my shot timer if I wanted to, but it also tracks like where you hit. So like, as you can see, this does a laser, which is nice because you get some sort of acknowledgement, right? Kind of like how I like shooting steel, you get acknowledgement. So like when you start like banging away on this, like you can see where it's all going over, which if you do the fundamentals with a nice slow trigger press, right, you start seeing where the rapid stuff, you can actually start jerking the gun, you can start pulling, you start seeing more impulses, right? But, so that's what we've been aiming at. We'll get some more in. Again, doesn't have to be super long. Just make sure that you don't have any distractions. Make sure that you know your gun is empty. Make sure the magazines you're going to are empty. And if you're going to shoot with your real gun, make sure you don't have any ammunition around you, okay? With obviously this training gun, I'm not worried about the magazines being within my proximity because like it's not going to work, right? Now if I had my other guns out here, my live ones, those would be away probably in my safe or like in another bedroom of the house, right? Just so that they're completely away from me. And again, this is super close only because the truck's pulled in. Normally I do it probably back to where the rug actually starts in the garage, which puts it at about like 10, 12 yards, give or take. And again, it's just to get some reps in with the drawing and then doing the magazine exchanges. As you can see, there was a couple that were high. That's because I was trying to go fast, right? So it's nice to kind of see what is happening as it's going. So again, doesn't have to be super in-depth, doesn't have to be super exaggerated. Just get some training in, even just some draws, right? You even just getting out in a blank space and just doing draws. That will make, if you start getting those reps in, it'll make when you go do it for the real thing, like that much quicker, right? More responsive. If you have a spare weapon light, or even if you're not used to using your weapon light, because let's be honest, we all typically want to use our trigger finger, right? When in reality, you should be using your support hand to activate that light. so that your trigger finger is ready when it needs to be. And this way there's no miss between trigger or light, right? So if you don't like that, you can even do that. You can just practice drawing it out and just working your weapon light. So, like I always preach, right? As long as you're doing something and you're building upon your skill sets, awesome. But do it with the purpose and know what you're trying to obtain. If it's drawn out of the holster, do that drawn out of the holster. If it's the reloads, do the reloads, right? But do it with the purpose. So yeah, thanks for watching. I know this video is a little bit shorter, but honestly, there's not a whole lot to go over, right? It's just showing you another option with some dry firing, whether you're using a red gun. This is particular next level training. For what it is, I like it. I have no complaints. It's just nice. But if that's not within your means, or maybe you don't want to do that, right? Make sure if you're using your actual weapon, download your mags, don't have ammo, and remember your firearm fundamentals, okay? Also have zero distractions. So no kids, no dogs, no cats, no significant other, right? Just you in a space that you like going. That's why I do the garage. But you can also do it in like a bedroom, right, with the door shut. Just main thing is don't have any distraction so that you can focus that few minutes solely on what you're trying to attend or accomplish. So yeah, stick around for the next one. The next video will probably be a little bit more in depth of the Ranger and kind of what it has already, the things that we're going to do, and kind of where we're going to leave it at. But that'll be in future video. That'll be in the next video probably. So stick around for that. Again, thanks for stopping in and watching. As always, be kind to one another and get out and train. Cheers, guys.